You know, it's correct.
Yes.
He said, I don't think everything. Yeah. So, yeah.
So yeah, you all are welcome. And then this event is going to be a great one because we're not just launching one book, but not two, but three power-packed books, three extraordinary books today, and which is written by the and author name is Mr. Chamberlain Onuoha. Yes,
Oh, yes.
he's a great man who has inspired a lot of people. He's not just a motivational speaker, a pharmacist, he's a writer,
The
he
coach.
inspires, you know.
Coach.
Yeah.
Teaches you a lot of stuff. Yeah, apart from football. Because I don't think he looks like a footballer. Okay. So, oh, yeah. We actually started by 4, and of course, that's the red carpet. The red carpet starts by 4 o'clock. A lot of people came in earlier than that. And just to let you know, in case if you're here, we're going to be having the red carpet, just in case you can just go out there and snap a picture. And they might just ask you 1 or 2 questions, okay? Just in case if you have not snapped already. And but before we officially start, I'll be inviting my brother Lalai, you know, beautiful name, Lalai. You know, if he was an American, say, I want to talk to Lalai here, you know. So, but in my language, they put it Lalai, you know. So, yeah. So, Lalai. Now that he talk. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite my brother Lalai for the opening prayers. Thank you very much. Yep.
Okay, please let's be on our feet as we honor God and pray. Father, we give you all the glory. We thank you for how you gathered us all in this place to celebrate these books that are going to be launched out to bring help and comfort and encouragement to so many people. We commit this program into your hands and that we ask you take control of everything. We start this program in the name of God the Father, Amen. God the Son, and Amen. God the Holy Spirit. Amen. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. I believe if this man want to be a pastor, he's very good in summary. Mm-hmm. If you hand over this microphone to a man that want to preach, the first thing he would start saying after standing up, he say, "Can we be in the mood of worship?" After that, you know, you start prophesying, and before you know, which there's nothing wrong. It's a beautiful thing to prophesy. It's part of what, you know, we've read in the New Testament that it's part of the gift. So I would like to, at this point, to let you know that in case you're still here and you want to go to the red carpet to have a little interview, then we'll just ask you one question, just one thing. And we're building that because we're going to be having a YouTube channel just in case. And you come up with like an Igbo man, you know, if you have to talk to an Igbo man to go to the red carpet. And okay, supposing now you're Jennifer. Yes. Of course you're Jennifer. So we're acting now because I know you're a Nollywood actress. And that is what I'm trying to tell you now is that we are going to go out in case if you are here and you have not snapped the picture so that it's going to be on top YouTube.
My brother, right.
Correct.
That's correct.
So just in case if you are going to be here for the meantime, the best thing is that you have to be documented so that you just do as you going to receive call. And yeah, we have sorry, she's gonna be looking at you, smiling while I look at the screen, yeah, just in case. We have friends all over the place. Omoni, BD, Pearl, GHJ, Pharmacy Samson, and May, Like, Philip, Tubi, Wilfred, Okafo. A lot of people out there watching this. Thank you so much, and we love you all. And Francis Duru, wow, beautiful. Awa Osowa Chidima, that is Damilola Olania, Kilosele na Baoni, Durotoye Olaniyan, Elise, a lot of people online. But now let's go back to the real life here, just like I told you. We have a lot of people watching, but to let you know that this evening we're going to stick to the program. Now we're going to recognize some few people, but before we do that, we'll take a soft music in the background, and my co-MC is going to get. We already have a list, but we need to take and like get to know who in the building and what have you. So meanwhile, I'll be engaging you while she goes backstage to get the names of our guests on ground.
Yes, yes, yes. And please, you could just step out. The red carpet is ready. Thank you very much.
All right. So in case you're watching this, all right. Like I told you, okay, the music in the background might conflict with the sound, so we could just turn it down a little bit. Yeah. Um, yeah. Can we turn? Is that music going to be comfortable with the light? Yeah. Yeah. All right. So meanwhile, while we get the names for recognition, you know, I was once at a book launch in Lagos. That was like 2019 when I came back from England, Barnstable University. Our lecturer, myself and one Fulani, one Hausa, Fulani, there was one Yoruba. The first class we had in England, you know, the lecturer was from, is it Southampton? You know, they have a very good, beautiful, heavy accent. So he walked into the, you know, lecture theater and he was like, hello, it's a perfect Monday and you've got a lot of things here working out perfectly. So what, I need to be like a separate flows like that, talking it, tagging it, just like a little like snow. So you know what I mean? I the Fulani boy when they beside me say, for Hausa, I would translate, he say, Kai Nika Baba and Kase put it for me and I never lie. He said, my papa just waste money for you because he don't hear anything. So now I can't look him. I say, ah, he said, hey, I say, Kai, on Kase Kudini. So it's just a waste of money. I say, okay, no problem. Whatever the lecturer says, I'm going to re-explain, but you have to give me £10 or £20 because I have to actually have some time to explain. Say, Kai, say, if you do that, you help me. I say, yeah, I say, yes. He said, okay. After a week, we had a test. That's 1 week, over 100. The guy had 91. He could not get a word from the lecturer, but I was the person re-explaining, but I got 69. So I called him, I said, Bello, how come you got 91 and I got 63? So you feel like in Hausa, you know, I said, so I came, I said, Kasaki, so okay, we need 10 pounds, so I can whatever maka. He said, that means that 20 pounds that I gave you, give me a 10 pounds so that I will explain what you explain. This is a real life. He's a lecturer. He came out with, we were struggling with merits, you know, and all that. He came out with first class. Like the guy was really intelligent. So that's the telling. So when you meet a Yoruba man, you know, I remember I went for a book launch in Kaduna. They invited a Yoruba man that was during Obama, the former president of America. So he was trying to speak, you know, the Yoruba, you know, a Yoruba man speaking English. You know, it's still like speaking Yoruba, but it's a lot of. He said, now, ladies and gentlemen, you know that we are here to launch the book, Benny, and the president of America then, he says, Barack Obama. Obama. So I now understood why some of our Yoruba brothers to pronounce the A's hard. That's why Whiskey cannot say Halima in the song. Halima, Bakulumo, Bakulumo, you know, because of the Bomo, Obama, you know. They say, can you correct the Obama? I say, of course. He say Baraki Obama name. You can't spoil them again. But if now Hausa man watching this now, he say, he knows that we are here. There are a lot of people here waiting patiently for some people not to see that. Can you reduce the volume? It's completely with live commentary. But I was surprised that a lot of things here. I'm not saying you should, I guess, whose voice is this? Because some of you will say I'm speaking like, what are the clap now? So yeah, so if you're from France, Italia, you know, watching the book launch, people are right there, they're trying to take a picture, okay? So, as an Italian, I had my spaghetti and pasta. So, nariste porto italiano, naria tire soronde. If not Chinese man, you say, how? How? Yeah. You don't hear the rest. We are dying. We are trying to launch a book. Chamberlain, Onuoha, I see. Hi. I'm a Frenchman. Bonjour, comment ça va? Allez-vous, hein? We are watching this live broadcast for the book launch of our brother, Chamberlain Onuoha. Tout ça va bien, vendredi, tout je recevoir the book launch. It's not a launch, but because he produced 3 books, it's a contribution donation to save for a scholarship. But if you meet any liberal man from Dubai, haba, لحتى لا يسمى الله من المسلم عليهم. Chamberlain, Onuoha, lunch a book, la, you're going to lunch a book. I love Chamberlain. I sit down, I try to write a lot of. During the last World Cup, my father doesn't watch any game, any Nigerian match on any channel except Al Jazeera. Because if he's watching football on Al Jazeera, hey, you have hope. Even if you are losing, you have hope. You hear the Qatar, Zawula Minibis Walim or Victor Moses, the Qatar, Inaha Chola, Zakulia, the Qatar. But the ball is in the center. They didn't go anywhere, it's still in the center. وهي لخدرة ثم إنها تولى كروسا زقول لبيت الديفندر أيسلند لبصيرة قليلة لخدرة إنها تو أحمد موسى لا. That means they have scored. They will score ball. They will carry the ball to the center, almost about starting a fresh game. The commentator will still be shouting. لا خطر Nigeria 1-0 لا أصل ولا خطر. They will go remind the commentator. La Ibrahim, la خطر the fresh game. They say, okay. We are starting a fresh game right now. It's only nice Nigeria shot ball. Ahmed Musa will go Nigeria politics. They do politics because Ebola. So yeah. So later after the book launch, I'm going to challenge all of you. Any accent in the world, all right? I'm going to challenge you if you are Orobo, Esikili, Akwa Ibom, Any tribe, I will challenge you. So we're going to be having the names. If we're able to have any name that is around, and just to appreciate our friends and family online. Meanwhile, we're going to be having papers. There are some leaflets on your table, just in case you're watching this, all right? Yeah, so if you see that, that is exactly what, please, we would like to indulge that you go through it, so that this is it's not the conventional book launch that that will bring people out and you start calling people this and that and what have you. This is a more straightforward, people who value why they are here know exactly how we respect and appreciate them, and they have love and support for the author. That's why they're here. So it's not about using words to motivate somebody and what have you. We all have plans, and that is the reason why we decided to do it in a very, very unconventional way. So you have this, the guest copy and the author's copy. You're going to fill both. And once you do that, we'll have a good idea of how many books you might require and how many CDs. Like my co-MC said, we're going to be having 3 books to be launched today, and we'll have another, it's like a plus, a CD, an album that I believe you will love the music, especially now that we're in the Christmas period. By the time you play like track 1, 2, 3, 4, I just want to assure you that you love this music. Meanwhile, my beautiful sister is here, yeah. All right. In case if you're single here, are you here? Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. We gotta keep it
All
live.
right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be recognizing the presence of some very important people in our midst. And don't get me wrong, we are all very important people. So we'll be recognizing the presence of distinguished Senator Omar Sadiq. A round of applause for him, please. The next on our list is pharmacist ARM Modu. A round of applause for him, please. And we'll also be recognizing the presence of Professor Martins Imeje. A round of applause for him. Thank you very much.
I can see my sister Elsie. She's watching. Sister, if you're watching us online, if you want to clap now so that we see, you clap. Yeah, I see you, my sister. And I see my brother Duro Loye, Mama. I can see you, Benny. And sorry, let me just engage these people out there so you can go on her while I talk to them. And we have our brother Omoni Bidi Baba, you know, Shele. I have Mr. Samson. I can see you, Duro Toy Ademola. Wow, yo, Baba. Thank you for joining us. Noel all day, you just coming online. I see you, bro. Francis Duru, I can see you. Mfam, Moses Afolarimi. And Francis, yeah, I see them. Okezie, oh yeah, Dina, Pharmacy Samson, yeah. We've got a lot of names out there going on. So just to let them know that we're together with them. So on the program, we're going to be having some, yeah, we're on item number 4. We're going to do that right away, but let's just have some music in the background, yeah? All right, so if there's a way you can find some maybe soft music in the background. Yeah, I can engage them from here till tomorrow. So yeah.
DJ Samson Lights, please.
Yes, so don't mind me. I was up with look camera, you know, I like to be looking at myself. You don't know that you're supposed to be looking at the camera. So yes, like I said, these books are going to be launched today, and some of you have already gotten the bank accounts or the emails or the way you relate with the author. And I want to appreciate our daddies for being here. Thank you very much, sir, for being here. Thank you so much for all the names we recognize. And just in case we've not called your name, it has one way to let you know that we actually appreciate your presence being here. You may possibly, of course, have an opportunity to speak or say something once we started the donations towards the push of this book. And as you all know, they say if you want to hide something from a black man, they say you put it in a book. But I don't believe that. I think that quotation should be rephrased. If you want to hide anything from some black men, because I know I grew up in a house where we have a lot of books and what have you. So please, I would like to kindly insist, if you are here with your boss, we should try and get the names of our dignitaries that just walk in. Because some of us might not be very aware of some people's faces under the mask. So our ushers, once you see our dignitaries, please kindly come with a paper or something so that we have the names intact. It's good to have face mask on, even though face mask now we have, like the one I did yesterday, we have many nyanya, some are from Pape, they have to struggle. One woman, yesterday I had an event here, we had to struggle with woman, she, Atampa, she covered her face. You come on a face mask, you know, and she was struggling. And so as I was saying all the time, okay, yes. You know, I had my primary school in Daura, that's Katsina State. So our teacher walked into the class and he was like, class, uh, so we were seated and all of a sudden So the teacher walked into the class. She was a core member from Abia State. And she said, class, today I'm going to teach you something about pronunciation. She now wrote T-H or H-E on the blackboard. And she was like, who can pronounce this in English? In class 1, Daura, that was way back 80s. So the most intelligent guy in the class was Aminu. So Aminu raised his hand. All right. So Aminu said to pronounce T-H-E is Tahe. I said, the woman said, what? He said, Malama, to pronounce T-H-E in English is Tahe. So the core member said, Aminu, why? So the woman, our teacher from Daura, she walked into the class. She said, what's happening? He said, CEO, I just wrote T-H-E on the blackboard for the students to just pronounce. The most intelligent boy now says T-H. She said, class, you are supposed to pronounce T-H-E as za. That is why most of us from the north now, like me from Daura, you hear, the people here, the other day, as a boy, I have to relate all the things here, you know, and we are really capable to ensure that these things are moving positive. So if you put these things together, you know that it's not about the English, it's not our mother tongue. If you can speak English and they understand, forget the accent. If you ask a white man to speak in Yoruba, there will be a lot of mess up. So those things, if somebody is coming from Borno or from Abia, is trying to speak English and you hear Igbo accent and you laugh, it's wrong. You have to be very straightforward in what you do. For you to be able to be capable, you have to ensure that you are intelligent. I've never known that, Mr. President, when I was in State House 2014, yeah, I went for Her Excellency the First Lady's birthday party in the State House, so it was really, really fun. I wore an Indian clothes, so when I was cracking joke, I was using an Indian accent. Like some of us here, some of you watch Indian television. If I were to be an Indian MC talking to you about this book launch, this is how an Indian MC would do. The first thing, you would just walk in. Namaste. I am trying to tell you right now that we are going to stick to time. We are going to ensure that the book launch kicks right now because things are going to work out perfectly. The author, what is his name? Chamberlain Onuoha. There are names that you pronounce in as if you're swallowed a potato. That is because I'm Indian. So I'm going to get it perfect. And you know the interesting thing about Indians, whatever they do, they have to nod their head. Whether it is yes, they will go, oh yes, please, things are going to work out perfectly. Even if it's no, oh no, 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 we are going to be right on time. So whichever way, it has to be very perfect. That's why when you see the lady will come, Daddy, I am trying to talk to mommy to tell us exactly what we're going to do in the dark, but mommy is not responding. And then as well, you see the mom will just come. You are gonna try to get yourself together. Your daddy is going to be here, but you need to be straightforward. And when the dad comes, you have baritone. जिंदगी मेरा प्यार मोहब्बत की जिंदगी मुकर जिसकन के पार कौन है लंडार के लोरे बाश कुमार के मस्किंदार के बोरे don't discandar ke and before you hear you say nahi the next thing chikalan kalan zindagi hua jani man song don't enter. But Chinese, when they are having conversation in our Chinese movies, you hear they will just write, you are stupid. After like 16 sentences, you hear, you say, if you smile, I will slap you. So I used to wonder, This translators, are they just telling us for the money purpose or what? So, ladies and gentlemen, like I told you earlier, we're not going to spend much time here, and we're going to go straight into what needs to be done. And I'm just waiting for a signal just to make sure we engage our guests that are seated here, and of course, those that are online. I would like to appreciate you. Thank you very much for being here. All names that are, you all right? I got my poets coming in here. Mhm.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to again recognize the presence of the distinguished Senator Omar Sadiq. A round of applause for him, please. Thank you so much for coming. All right, the next item on our list is the comments on pages of laughter and excuse me, and My Life is Beautiful album by MC Children's. As we all know, information is power, and power is priceless. So let's have my amiable. Okay, we're going to take a short music before we go to the next item. Thank you very much. Promise me you'll give faith a flying chance. joy to sit it out or dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. And never settle for the path of least resistance. Within my feet, the chances, but then worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth the making. Don't let some help.
Yeah, thank you, Lalai. Check, I'm borrow that name just for 2 weeks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on item number 4, it's going to be comments on pages of laughter in my life. All right, it's a beautiful album by MC and of course, that's the person on the microphone. So I'm going to just read just a printout from that and from the book Pages of Laughter. All right. Pages of Laughter is a compendium of clean jokes compiled over several years from a wide variety of sources, including both, but not limited to emails, messages, social media platforms, and jokes shared verbally. Considering the means of collection, it is hard to know who the original sources of the jokes really is. I would like to say here that the author acknowledges all those jokes that appear in the compendium. He said, I acknowledge all comedians and all others committed to seeing and sharing the funny side of life. Let's face it, if we take life as serious as it comes, sometimes, we'll be in serious trouble. So lots of gratitude to all who do what they can to bring sunshine to the lives of others. He looks forward to working with you all on the candle lighting project. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That is just short and extract from the pages of laughter. Meanwhile, we have like I said earlier, the My Life is Beautiful is actually a plus, an addition, an album, as part of the package of the 3 books to be launched today. And this is also a compilation of music, beautiful songs that not just the melodies produced by very, very renowned and sound producers, but the lyrics. I bet you the lyrics of the songs are extremely excellent. These are life lessons, and I want to strongly say that I would love you to not just concentrate sometime after buying, and donating and getting a copy. Listen to the lyrics. Sometimes a lot of people get carried away with the songs, no, this is so emotional, But the wordings, you miss them. Yeah, I remember I was in London during the Adele's concert, and somebody was, he was, I know this music, it's quite really nice. Like, what did she say? I don't know, just what the music, just like the melody, So a lot of people miss out the melody, the lyrics and concentrate on the melody. That's why some people don't get the lyrics. They always come in the chorus of songs. Yeah, when they come to the stanza. Church, listen to my dance touch, everything I talk to the good. Yeah, you raise your voice. So let's take time, have some good time to understand and listen and get to be touched by the wordings. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to proceed by appreciating and recognizing Sadiq Suleiman Umar, Chairman, Senate Committee on Rules and Business. Jama, a round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. Senator Sadiq Suleiman is very much around you. Good to have you, sir. Oga, I'm from Maiduguri here at TV, which it's good to have you, sir. You're welcome. We appreciate you. I also have Bennett Oke Urama. She's very much around. Please, a round of applause for her. She's very much around there. Wow. Oh, Eric Bennett, the musician. Ah, now I know the Bennett. This air condition. Who sort of made you had that with the AC? Please, a round of applause for Mr. Bennett OK Urama. A round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to have you, sir. And I also have Ali Gana Kiari. Is that right? Ali Gana Kiari. Ganana, please, a round of applause for him. If you hear Gana Kiari, Alan Goro, Mokam Yarwa. Jama Kutam, I don't know if applause for us. At least I got it. A Kanuri man is, Jia Muna Magana Munzo, Gira Munzauna, Sunkamana Burabuskoro Munchi, Allah Yaram Ajikimurama, Nigeria Yakirani, Nachinu Yarway, I want to the Bulashe. A round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to have you. Yeah, Arab Guru, Munatari. Yeah, wow. And I also want to recognize, ladies and gentlemen, Ome Idoko Onoche. This one I do, mama. Anya, where is it? Oga? Anya? Eh, I don't want to Anya, all right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We're still rolling. And quickly, we'd like to go straight to the book review. Permit me at this point to please welcome our first guest, very special guest, who's going to be giving us the first book review by Lessons from Grandpa, one of the books by pharmacist Alhaji A.R.M. Momodu. Jamaa kutama mishi. Momodu yana. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Yeah. See for you for the very first time now. No, next one. Hey, mashallah. Please clear the stage. Clear. You know this, clear. Yeah, water. It's easier.
The most distinguished Senator Umar Sadiq, chairman of this occasion, highly respected may I begin by expressing deep appreciation for the privilege of not only being invited to this event, but also of being given an opportunity to review the book, Lessons from Grandpa. The author of this book, pharmacist Chamberlain Onuoha, can very correctly be described as the Nigerian child. He is from Imo State. He was born in Benue State. He schooled in Zaria. He had his NYSC in Ondo State, and here he is with us in FCT. He is a multi-talented young man that is a writer, an orator, a public speaker, a motivator, a philanthropist who has mentored over 100 mentees, a self-actualized young man that has decided in his own lifetime to raise the standard of the less privileged by instituting a self-funded scholarship scheme that has seen over 70 Nigerian children go through secondary and tertiary institutions. Lessons from Grandpa speaks for itself. Grandpa, in this sense, I understand, should imply one who is a sage, one who has learned wisdom from age and experience. And these are the things that this young man has painstakingly collected and is presented to the public, both old and young, as their invaluable steps in making a success out of life. He starts the book with a bang, the first chapter. And even before then, let me say this. It is a 153-page book that has 51 chapters, which means that it is an average of 3 pages per chapter. And for a designing mind, the question is, why short chapters? If you lay your hands on this book, you will see why. It is a concentration of facts, of wisdom, of pieces of advice on how you can go about life, life-changing pieces of advice, attitudinal changes, anchored on everything you require to make a success of life. So the first chapter is saying, how old will you be if you don't do it? It speaks to somebody who has an ambition and is already 38 years old, and is now speculating, what can I do? If I have to attain this ambition, I will need an extra 8 years to go through tutelage, to go through all the things that are involved, and by then I'll be 46 years old. Then he now goes to the stage to ask for advice. And the stage says, this is one of those conditions in which a question provides an answer. If you do not do it, if you do not do it then, if you don't do it now, how old will you be then? He's already 38. If he doesn't do it, he will be 46 in 8 years' time. If he does it in 8 years' time, how old will he be? The same 46. But now, this is the difference. If you do it, you become who you want to become. You achieve your life ambition. If you do not do it, you remain where you are. What is the better option? Ladies and gentlemen, what is the better option? Do it. And he goes on, and I'm addressing the book in a manner that is not chronological, I'm going to follow a professorial approach. He's talking about attitudes. He's talking about vision. He's talking about focus. He's talking about determination. He's talking about resilience. He does not give room for any excuses. As far as this book is concerned, the word impossibility does not exist. And he gives life visible examples from personal experiences and experiences of others. Take, for example, Akin and Popo, those two young boys. I hope you remember them.
Yeah.
Ordinarily, their size will be a deterrent to achieving success. But did they give up?
No.
They didn't. They didn't. They went ahead and pursued their ambition and make a huge success out of it. Take, for example, Wilfred Oprah. She was in a TV station. She was found to be inadequate and was laid off. But that was her ambition. What did she do? She went into pursuit of that ambition, and today she's a TV station owner. So he goes on and on and on to give examples of how people were able to overcome challenges because they had the determination. For him, our author, those things that ought to be impediments became the sources of, it became the catalyst for propelling him to greater heights. So he tells us, and he itemizes those things that can take somebody down. He enumerates them, many of them. Amongst them is the company you keep. If you go about and move about with somebody who is going nowhere, where will it take you to? Where will it take you to? Nowhere. If you move with somebody who is going nowhere, he will take you to nowhere. And if you move with somebody who has nothing to offer, what will he offer? Nothing. So choose your company. Once you do that, a big chunk of the problem of life is solved. Then he goes ahead and tells us, do you know who your real enemy is? Who you need to conquer? Is that yourself that you see in the mirror? Aim at it and you'll be a success. He now goes into to show us his interaction with the grandpa, with the elders, and what came out of it. For example, the chameleon chooses to move with his majestic steps and is told, look at fire. Fire is burning. He says, don't worry, I keep on going the way I'm going. How does he end up? He gets burnt. So what is the lesson? When you see danger, stand up for safety. He goes to tell us in clear terms that if you want to succeed in this life, you must be able to know when to say no. There are many things that come up to somebody's mind that you must have that ability to say no to. If you cannot say no to them, you are digging the path of failure. There are other situations in which you have to say yes, no matter how inconveniencing that situation will be. Therefore, for success in life, there has to be a good blend between the yes and the no. There are very many of these chapters that tell the same story. The lessons are the same, but the situations in which this is occurred are different. It is the reason why this book, Lessons from Grandpa, is a must for everybody. He is a mentor. He also paid a lot of tribute to his own mentors, like Solomon Pye, who was his boss at one time of his life. He told us why he succeeded. Chief among them was openness and simplicity. It is therefore my honor and privilege to recommend this book to every person, both old and young, both those in school and those who are out of school, because if you lay your hands on this book, it is a must, and it is going to change your life for the better. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Daddy, for that powerful word. A round of applause for him again, please. That is a review from Lessons from Grandpa by pharmacist Alhaji ARM Momodu. It's a great lesson because if you if you walk with someone who goes nowhere, you also is going nowhere. Your background is not the reason why your back is on the ground. For you to be successful, you have to work with successful people. And these are the things you get when you read the book Lessons from Grandpa. A round of applause for him again, please. Those online, I hope you're enjoying the events going on already. As you all know, it's not by proximity, it's by connectivity, and I'm sure you are connected to us. All right, the next on our list is the book review from Lessons from Legend by Professor Martins Emeje. A round of applause for him as he comes on stage.
Professor. Oh, wow.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thanks. There is a protocol that has been established. Ordinarily, I should stand by it, but because Sadiq is the one that is the chairman, and because he is my past president, I will not stand on it. Good evening, sir. Before we started, Alaji Momodu was saying that I think Sadiq sent somebody to represent him. I told him it's impossible. I told him it was impossible. So when 10, 15 minutes later we saw him walking, I told him, sir, you cannot tell him. Because I knew that Chambers is because of Chambers he's here. It's not because he's a senator, it's not because he's Sadiq. He will be here as Sadiq because of Chamberlain. If you are a graduate of Mobile University, Zaria Pharmacy, 1998, if you are of that step, please stand up. If you are in this hall, Chamberlain is your classmate, can you be upstand? We are the group that is launching this book today. It's our book. We are Chamberlain's classmates. Thank you, you can sit down. We are Chamberlain's classmates. So we are the one that can say who Chamberlain is. Forget anything that you see now. We are the real ones that can say who Chamberlain is. I can tell you that Chamberlain was not very constant in the class. I can tell you that Chamberlain will roll his book and put it at the back of his and go. I can tell you that Chamberlain must go to. I can tell you. Okay. They say it's okay, I should up the mic, I should up the mic. But you know what? In all of this, Chamberlain will still get 4 points when the result is out. He will still get 4 points. So we knew that he would be writing things. Okay. The one I'm reviewing, this is the cover. This is the one I'm reviewing. Lessons from Legends. Lessons from Legends. And it is also called 1000 Lessons from Legend. The author is Chamberlain Onuoha. And I won't spend time on him because I will describe him appropriately in a way that should not be recorded. However, I looked through the book, which I read 111 times. I read this book 111 times because I have reviewed 27 books across the globe, and I have never reviewed a book that is not a classical scientific write-up. This is the first time I'm reading a book that I can't classify it. I don't know how to classify it. You will classify it yourself, and to do that, you need to buy a copy. Okay, so, but there's someone, I tried to go online to search who the person is, and the person's name is A.J. Ajumoke Nweze, an editor of this book. What did online tell me about her? He says that the editor, whose name is Nweze, is an experienced brand and communication specialist, a creative entrepreneur,
a singer, a writer, and a content creator who runs a podcast series. So, and I said, no wonder then this book does not allow the reader to drop it once the first page is opened. And I just told you I read it more than 100 times. And so I decided to look for the editor because for those of us that our career is in this area, once you're reading something that the trajectory is insulting, and for us, it's not everything that is insulting that is bad. Sometimes you need to be insulted in order to make progress. Okay, so when you read a book that the trajectory that is meandering and trying to encapsulate things that ordinarily should flow, you go to look for the editor. So I went to look for who this editor is. So I was dazed and then no longer surprised that she, I think she, is an experienced brand and communication specialist, a creative entrepreneur, a singer, a writer, a content creator who runs a podcast series. Okay, so I quickly looked at the book. 102 persons were acknowledged. 102 persons were acknowledged. If I was an editor of a scientific writer, first of all, I'll not pass it. But that is who Chamberlain is. Because if you have day-to-day interaction or offline interaction with Chamberlain, you know that his life is life of appreciation. He simply wants to be telling someone, thank you, no matter how negligible that thing is supposed to be. Once you did something for Chamberlain, he's just going to make it look like you have created something that shouldn't have been, a life of appreciation. So when I saw over 100 people being acknowledged in a book of 194 pages, I said, yes, that is who Chamberlain is. It's a book of originality. What do we say is an original? Original is when you sit and put your thoughts on paper, such that it is difficult to get it recreated from or by someone else. 194 pages, 55 chapters, and what did I do? I compressed the 55 chapters into 6 chapters. So chapter 1 and 2 together, 3 to 8 together, 9 to 17 together, 18 to 22 together, 23 to 27 together, 28 to 55 together. So 6 things I will just pinpoint for us, and I'll sit down. Then let me do it this way. Who is a legend? First of all, you are going to read lessons from legend. And Chamberlain has said, everyone seated here today is a legend. Everyone seated here is a legend. That's the summary of this book. In those days, when we used to struggle to pass English in secondary school, because you must get credit in English in order to go to university. Even though those of us who are going to read medicine and pharmacy, we didn't really need English. And those of us who are also Nigerian, we also really need English because English is not our mother tongue. Everybody forgot Igala and said, I must learn English. And I had to struggle to pass English. And then my Igbo lecturer, a wonderful, handsome, short youth corps member, we say, summarize this one paragraph in one sentence. Then you will be seeing 0/10 in the class, and you'll be kneeling down and holding your ears until you know how to do it. But these days, you don't venture to tell anybody to hold the ear or kneel down. The father in the National Assembly will go and send you to somewhere you will not come out. So, lessons from legend. Everyone is a legend. A legend is an extremely famous and notorious person, especially in a particular field. He's a star. He's an icon. He's a superstar. He's a celebrity. So, Sadiq, you are a legend. Amaka, you are a legend. Idoko, you are a legend. Kayode, you are a legend. We are legends. Look, now you are a legend. Forget the fact that you are a pharmacist, ARM and what are always fighting online. You are both legends. You are both legends. You are both stars. You are both icons. And that's what this book, what is the reason? What are the reasons Chambers is insisting that you are a star, that you are a legend, that you are an icon? What are the reasons? The reasons, there are more than 78 reasons that I'm not going to tell you. Because if I tell you, you will not pick this book. So pick one, pick two, pick three, and then you get to know why. Okay. The book navigates through the mind, creating a refreshing candor, right? Typical of our society of today, where a 40-year-old is so pauperized to believing that he or she is worth nothing. Our leaders, politicians, act with hearted towards same people who voted them in. This book tends to give hope to the downtrodden. Today, you 40, 50-year-old Nigerians, many don't even believe in themselves. You know why? Because the 76 and the 80s, who were there when we were in primary and secondary school, they have made you feel that you don't know anything. So you have been pauperized. You have been so oppressed, such that even when the oppressor has left you, you refuse to be liberated. Chambers is telling you, my friend, you are a star, you are a legend. Refuse to be told that you are not a star. Read this book and you will understand what I'm telling you. I will not go more on that. So check the next few chapters. Nobody succeeds without the help of others. Ask, the most politically exposed person in this court is Sadiq. So permit me when I mention him several times. But ask him, he will tell you that he won't be here as a senator without the help of people. So is it me that in my own career, somebody must knock your head all the time in order to move, that will not say, I came here without somebody? Check very well, search. You did not get to where you are without someone, somewhere helping you. So, nobody succeeds without the help of others. A good reputation capital is a good generator of goodwill, any day, anytime. And this book is encouraging us to cultivate good reputation capital instead of material capital. Okay. If you hinge your happiness on getting what you currently lack, you may never be happy. So, many of the pages of this book will tell you this. With personal and practical experiences and stories of how this came about, even in Chambers' life. One sweet thing about this book is, and that's why I call it a book of originality, is that several stories in this book is about Chamberlain himself. Or, in fact, he's either telling the story of how he was watching football. You know, the guy is a football addict. He said that he was watching football and he saw something. Or he had quarrel with somebody and he learned something. Or he was, in fact, I even saw my name in this book. And I was surprised because it wasn't so, I didn't expect that Chambers would go and start recording that kind of thing to go and write book. If I knew it was because he wanted to write book, I would have been careful. Yes. When I wrote something about me in this book, I don't like it. And I will tell you, if you want to know, get a copy of the book. So let me not take too much of our time because we are here to launch the book, not to talk too much. So let me skip and go to the meeting. Okay. If you are reading this piece, I'm quoting him. If you are reading this piece, you are most likely upwardly mobile, a pursuer of excellence. If you are reading this book, you are most likely upwardly mobile, a pursuer of excellence. If so, here are two quick things you ought never to forget. the author, and I agree with him into two, that anyone who decides to pick this book to read it, because whatever made me to read this book several times, try it and see. The two things that he argues, which I agree with, those two things are, you will check it out yourself. You need to check it out yourself. You will need to check that out yourself. Okay, before I sit down, let me tell you something I do not agree with. The author Chamberlain attempted to put a searchlight on the roles of weakness and strength in building man. He gave two lots. He gave lots of credit to weaknesses in a way you may not agree with. In fact, he prescribed 3 over-the-counter drugs, including paracetamol, for managing your weakness. I'm sure many of you here are pharmacists. Chamberlain is pharmacological agent to manage emotional disorder in this book. I do not agree with him. But where do you stand in the controversy created by Chamberlain in chapter 12 on this issue? Pick it and find out yourself. That is what I don't agree in this book. Thank you very much.
Applause for a great professor in the house. Thank you so much for the great review. That was a very beautiful review out there. This book is a must read. You just have to read this book. As he's always saying, you must get this book and read it. You know, the next on our list is a song from the album, and it will be performed right away. Thank you very much.
All right, yeah, sure, of course. Sorry, I just love the camera. I'm from Maiduguri, so I like the fact that I have to call the America. Hello, America. I have to speak like American right now. We're bringing in some people to come and do a little bit part of the song from the album. Somebody say, uh-huh. I don't hear it yet. That's one to do with cramming. When you cram something, it doesn't like, I'm a lecturer from the University of Maiduguri. I'm a lecturer by profession, but a comedian by session. So, yeah. Yeah, we're coming out of the recession, so you have to, entrepreneur, you have to. So, I was just talking to a friend, and I said, if you have to do everything possible to make sure that your head is out of the water, and that means you have to struggle beyond. I love the professor. When the professor came, now the way he was talking, now he was like literally telling you that a detonation. We're not launching like this one 500. It's all about donating, supporting, this Chamberlain. And I love the way the professor was calling his name, because when I was calling the house, I was a Chamberlain, the Chamberlain, this man is our classmate, so it's, Oga, now that is, I started in Abia State, Igbo people, I stayed in Onuoha, Arochukwu, Bentley, Sialagwa. So when you see a Igbo man, Oga, if I'm launching a book, you're going to be the chairman on the aspect of motivation. And when I want, as a supporter that will come in Halkandera, I have to bring somebody from the other side. And some people are watching this live, they say, what the hell is this man? If you bring your man, they say, you know that now we are going to do something that's very, very important. got the promotion. Ready? So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to bring somebody to do the song from the album. Ready? So, to make sure that we relate to our other audience that are watching. So, just like he said, my co-MC, yeah. Kila wana kama na aroni. Yeah, and what I just said is that, we're heading towards the new year. All right, do we have it ready? I'm sure everybody's on the team. All right, let me just use the media voice. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just about to present to you a song from the album My Life is Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause.
Got a question, got a question, got a question for you. Got a question, got a question, got a question for you. If everyone were like you, the world be a better place. If everyone were like you, the world be a better place. Dun, 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 yeah, dun, 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 yeah. Dun, 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 yeah, dun, 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 yeah. If you answer yes, then you are living right. If you answer no, you will make me change your ways. If everyone were like you, the world be a better place. If everyone were like you, the world be a better place. Dun, 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 yeah, dun, 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 yeah. Dun, 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 yeah, dun, 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 yeah. You are like a song, you are not to make a difference. Don't wait for others to change before you change. You're the change you're waiting for. Let it start from you. Want a better world? Start from where you are. If everyone were like you, would the world be a better place? If everyone were like you, would the world be a better place? Dun, 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 yeah, dun, 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 yeah. Dun, 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 yeah, dun, 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 yeah. Care of head can make a huge difference. Do you know that Martin Luther Mandela were men like us? They made difference. Do you know that? If we are a generation like them, we can do more. If everyone were like you, the world be a better place. If everyone were like you, the world be a better place. Dun, 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 yeah, dun, 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 yeah. Dun, 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 yeah, dun, 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 yeah. Princess, Angel, the Legend family.
Ladies and gentlemen, please don't try that at home. A round of applause for them, okay? These are professional dancers. I'm sure you don't want to try that at home. If you do,
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that all the time we came to a program here is the other time. They do dance. Michael Jackson, one was say, I want to. They tried it at home. We're still going to the hospital to greet him. So there are different kinds of food and things that they do. These people, they don't sleep. Like when I say sleep, I remember in Maiduguri, the first flyover we are building now, they brought one man that was sleeping under the flyover. They brought him NEPA bill. The man say, how will you give me NEPA bill? He said, it's a street light. Okay, it's a book launch. In case you want to invite us for us a program, I will give you my number. I just put it for Maiduguri, so the compliment card has finished. So later you just KR was over transport, I give you my number. We'll have a good time. MashaAllah. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to switch over now to the Black American accent right here. And we're inviting somebody very important.
Very special.
Chairman, it's your thinker, move. We have been static here. Come on, Mohali Tabaria. Like say we swallow this, you can move. So you can move. Come and see yourself on television. Village girl, come here. Sorry, I need to be doing it. Say, hi. If you see yourself,
I'm fine, though.
yes, I see you.
Fine.
You are fine.
Tell me that I'm not fine.
You can't tell whether this is from Pate or something. You know, like I said, both of us echoed the program in Kaduna. So we invited the mother of the bride. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, just like I'm going to invite somebody very special. So, ladies and gentlemen, right now, we're going to be inviting the mother of the bride, and she's going to come out and start dancing. So we're going to say, sweet mother, 90 woman, baggy woman, baggy, Abuja, baggy, they call it Wari. That's it, Dana. You are going to play music that is from the way back. I want you to play Kukere. That song that they used to do one time. I like that song. I said, Mama, you are 78. That's it. Forget about that. Give me Kukere. I said, okay, because I'm looking towards my balance. I said, let me stick to this thing because she's paying the money. I said, DJ, Kukere. Mama just climbed stage. Oh, my ladies. Mama said, Kukere. Kukere, she enjoyed the dance. Kukere, baggy woman. That's it. This is very sweet. Kukere, kukere, kukara, kukere, kasa. Like legs strong. She can't do like this. The thing not move. The next thing, she looked DJ. She said, DJ, remove that kukere. Go back to sweet mother. Shabi, I tell you now. This one, she don't laugh. Go sit down for ground. The mother of the group. She said, no, I don't want kukere. Give me something small. All these small children, they couldn't give her. Mommy, go, mama. Go, mama. Mama couldn't do like this. I said, Mama, stay there, dance. She can't enjoy her. Go, mama. Go, mama. Yoruba people, they like to go down. Before you know, she don't do like 3 minutes for this position. They're going to say, oh, mama. Go, mama. When they say, go, mama, she said, go where? So it's something that you cannot just understand. As a lecturer at the university, that one another for another day. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, when my MC, she has to run and come back because we're supposed to be working together, but when I crack joke, she can't hold it. So, but tonight, ladies and gentlemen, just like what the professor and our boss said here, we have friends and family. And the whole thing about this launching is not just about we just, just feeling we could just come and it's a launching. No, it's all about the support. And most of you are here. Sometimes the smaller the crowd, the more rich in quality. And this is about the support. He has a program, not just a donation. When a man sits down to write something on paper to be transformed into printing press, a process, that's to tell you that his mind is about enriching the society, about information that definitely will enrich the society. But I just want to say here that before we invite him on stage, he's a man that I've learned so much. When I spoke to him, I don't know when I went to the village and came back, I don't know, you know, he said, Abdul, I want you to learn before you know. I said, oh, I will do it wholeheartedly. You know, I'm supposed to be in Kaduna, in Lagos, and all that, but because of the love I have for this man, you know, I really appreciate him. And Gaskia, it's been a blessing working with this man. I just met him through Lalai, and we have learned a lot. Me and my friend here, she's supposed to be in Kaduna as well, but we decided to stay back, not because of anything, not because of marketing or paparazzi and what have you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we invited somebody on stage. If your hands are not busy, for camera purposes, can we stand on our feet as we welcome the one and only, the man behind the pen, compiled into different books and a prong album. Let's welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Chamberlain Onuoha. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment.
Thank you very much. I I feel so happy, and for most of you who have worked very closely with me, you know that this is probably one day that I've been wishing to see happen for about a decade. And I'm really very grateful for all of you who have found time to be here to share this very important moment with us, and also to take on the journey with us. I also want to appreciate all those who are online. And he said, mommy, our Sunday school teacher said, no, we're here on planet Earth because of others. Mommy, is that true? Mommy thought for a while. Mommy said, yes, your Sunday school teacher is correct. You're here on planet Earth because of others. And then she followed up with a question that I'm not sure Mommy was expecting. She now said, what are the others here for? So I guess that's $1 million question. Created for others. One, that every single individual is born into a family. Has people, drivers, cooks that he depends on. And even at a personal level, every individual will have their own weaknesses, which others will help them complete and strengthen. And maybe if what happens in life doesn't convince you, maybe what happens in death does convince you. No man can bury himself. If you die, others has got to put you, has got to give you the honor that will make you go the way a man should go after they are dead. So in essence, we're all created for community, and one of the reasons why we're here is because of others. And that brings me to what I consider the most important question every human will probably want to ask himself, and that is, why am I here? Why am I here? I think that every single one of us, we're incapable of living our best life if we're unable to find answers to that question, or if we do not commit to fleshing out the answers that we find. I agree with you that, like you, every single one of us is in the state of becoming, which means that we may never know everything about us. It keeps evolving as the days go by. But I can guarantee that every single effort you put into finding out why you're here, and every single effort you put into trying to fulfill that single purpose will make your life more fulfilling. Even if you don't get every single thing that you have, that your living and fulfilling purpose will make life a lot more meaningful to you. And if you ask me, every single one of us is here to add value to others. I don't think that God creates non-entities. I do not think that the Almighty creates trash. So every single individual, big or small, white or black, rich or poor, you have something that you can contribute to society. Even if it is showing others what examples are for different things. So it is really very important that we look at things from that perspective. And today, I really want to take us into a different round of thoughts altogether. And that is, if you listened to the song that was just played here, it simply said, if everyone were like you, will the world be a better place? That was the chorus of the song we just listened. If everyone were like you, will the world be a better place? I think far too often, we spend so much time talking about what government should do, that it looks like we get blindsided, that we ourselves as individuals are not liabilities and we can add value to society. Far too often, we look at senators, we look at governors, and we say they've got plenty of money in their pockets. And we say what they should have done to help humanity. And we forget that we ourselves are accountable and are part of the number. And we can do something for somebody else. There's something that you can do to somebody. And there are things, value that you can add to society. And I think that if we go to the fundamental question of determining what our purpose is, and we allow that purpose to determine our priorities, then life is going to be a lot more meaningful. All through my life, I spent a lot of time trying to flesh out what this purpose is. And the truth is, the more I get to align myself with this purpose, with my understanding of my purpose, the more I find life being much, much better than it would have been. And over time, I spent some time running mentorship scheme. And by the way, Alhaji Momodu is my mentor, and he's also a grandpa. That's one of the reasons why he had to review lessons from grandpa. I've also run life development blogs where we talk about life development lessons that I get to put up and the ones that other people also will piece together. And for over 10 years, I think it's about 12 years, I've also been running a scholarship scheme, which I have been running till a large part Nicodemusly. And as I speak, there are close to 100 people who have benefited from the scheme. We've had graduates from universities, we've had people from secondary schools, and we've had people from primary schools. I appreciate your applause, but I just want to introduce you to the world in which I currently live. And that is the fact that the few people who know about the Nicodemus operations of the scholarship scheme, they appreciate me and I get applauses from them. But on the inside, every time I look at what I want to do with the scheme and where I am with the scheme, I find myself again dealing with the flip side of it, which is dealing with some sense of frustration that I'm not moving as fast as I ought to move. I want to be able to do that scheme. I have 2,000 beneficiaries in my lifetime. In my lifetime. But now I'm struggling with the number of 100. And I ask myself, if I go at this pace, is this 2,000 ever achievable in this lifetime? But I remembered that teamwork makes the dream work. And I remembered that maybe it's not going as fast as you want to go because you'll be doing it all by yourself. And I also thought about that it's very possible that there are many like-minded people who want to do similar things, but haven't gotten around to doing it because actually it involves significant logistic challenges in being able to do them. And I thought to myself, on this book launch that I'm going to have, I am going to dedicate 50% of the proceeds of this book launch to supporting and expanding that scholarship scheme. So today, I'm inviting you to see this not just as a book launch, but as one who has come here to support the lighting of candles. I call it the lighting of candles I'm under no illusion that by myself I can do too much. But I'm also under no illusion that I can do nothing. And I believe that every single individual, every single child that we take through school, even if it is primary school or secondary school, you will have lit a candle. And even if you don't do it for any reason, just do it that for the purpose that you will have, by doing that, added the value to others. And in truth, if we live all by for ourselves, we'll have delight others the benefit of our existence, which means you never lived. And if you look at very elderly people, the older they get, sometimes the more generous they become. Why? Because all of a sudden they realize that life is all about you and yourself. Haven't you wondered that all the people who run philanthropic organizations, majority of them, and more of them in the elderly people? Look at Bill Gates, he's not a small boy. Most of the people you know, they've advanced before they start running it. Why? Because the older you get, you begin to know what really counts in life, and you'll become more committed to it. I get older every day, and right now, I'm feeling a bit impatient with myself, and I think I need to move a bit faster. And I want you to join. But I also want to give you 3 more reasons why I want you to join, and why I want you to support this book launch, not just as a book launch, but as a support of a project. One is, I want you to do it for me. Do it for Chamberlain, because I'm never promising you that I'm going to give 100% to the entire project. I'm going to keep some for myself. So show your brother some love. Do it for me. Secondly, I learned a lot on this journey. What you saw as song that was presented today, and what you're going to see very shortly, is that we're going to have unveiled a 13-tracker album. It never started because we wanted to do an album. It started because myself and my children just go to the studio to have fun. You know how you go to the park to play? That's how we used to go to the studio to play. But over time, myself, my wife, and my daughters ended up singing songs that we shared with friends, and some told us were nice, and we decided to say, well, if we're doing the book launch, we can as well add the 4th link to the package, or put it together, and we're going to share with you. But it brought me to something new, that sometimes things can have very small beginnings and end up with something very substantial. But more importantly, it exposed me to the fact that in the studios you have all across Nigeria, there are talents just waiting for a little bit of support to bring their talent to limelight. I want us to appreciate the fact that music can be a source by which society can be transformed. And I don't think it will be too far-fetched to say that in the yesteryears, when we had more content-rich music, we also had more morally, socially adaptable individuals within our societies. Maybe it's about time for us to begin to add to the content in our music. And we want to be able to do that through the numerous talents who we find in the studios, and help them to focus their music in things that can be socially adaptable and rich in content. There are many of us here who we know that there are many songs you dance to, you listen to, that you wouldn't want to play for your children. You don't want your children to listen to them because you think that they are not the right content for them. We want to be able to have those musics that have the right lyrics and also have all of the things that you want. And then the 4th reason I want to give you why I think you support is we want to be able to take these books to schools. The books are going to be available globally, but we also want to make them available to institutions and individuals who would never have had access to them because they probably can't afford them. We want to be able to place them in public schools, we want to be able to place them in school libraries, and we want to be able to place them in state government libraries, in the public where people can have access to them. And all I'm saying is, help us power that move that we want to make. I really just want to drop the mic by just recounting one of my favorite quotes and it's something that is credited to General Charles de Gaulle. He says situations must exist, and certain individuals must exist at the same time as the situations. When the individuals and the situations meet, there's a collision, right? A mechanism is set up by which history takes one direction and not the other. Plenty of jargon, but let me take it one more time. That situations must exist, and certain individuals must exist at the same time as the situations. When the situations and the individuals collide, a mechanism is set up by which history takes one direction and not the other. I really don't know what it means to you, because one single sentence can mean different things to different people. And a collection of sentences can also mean a variety of several different things to different individuals. But I want to share with you what it means to me. What it tells me is that the direction to which the history of a people take is not only dependent on the reality of the situation, but by how these individuals interact with the situation. I think today we live in a society where we wish it was something else. We live in a society where there was so much poverty. At my car, when I went to the car wash early today, I met a young boy, his name is David. And I was wondering what he was doing in the car wash because he sounded really smart and he engaged me. And I said, why are you not in school? He said he went to the east and they came back and there was COVID. I said, well, COVID has ended a long time ago. Why are you not in school? He said, because the mother couldn't raise the money to pay the fees. And I said, when are you going back to school? She said, January. I said, so what makes you think that mommy is going to have money in January? She said, because himself and mommy are working. Which means in the car wash where I saw him working, he was actually working. And I said, how much did they pay you? He said he doesn't know because mommy read the agreement with his organ and mommy gets the money. But mommy has told him that she'll be able to pay the school fees in January. Putting that boy in school, from my experience, may not take more than 20,000 naira per term. Why? Because the boy's mother isn't going to put the boy in the schools where your children attend. So, with 60,000 naira, that boy could be well out of school for one whole year, could be well in school for 1 year. What's the shocking part? That there are many schools in this country where I have pupils who are there, and I pay as little as 8,000 naira per term. Because again, you're not taking the children from their mothers. You're keeping them where they are. And in the communities where they are, the best school is 8,000 naira per term. With 4,000 naira takes that child through the entire school. So what are we saying? The average person in this room can take a child through an entire university education. The average person in this room can. So all I'm encouraging you to do is don't bother too much about whether you can do everything. Don't even bother about whether you get recognition for it or not. Because I can tell you that I understand what it means because you may not get any recognition for it. And for somebody like me, it doesn't mean anything because I'm not doing it for them, I'm doing it for me. Because I am fulfilling purpose and ensuring that I truly lived. And when I walk through the sands of time and pass, because someday I'm also going to pass, people are going to remember the day I was born and they're going to be grateful that I was born. And maybe, if my children are lucky, they are going to have people who are going to favor them too. I'm saying today, this is not just about a book launch. It's about a mission. Support as best as you can, but do not put yourself under too much pressure. Do what you can, and let us know that we're giving life our best. Because in any case, that's all you can give it. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. A round of applause for Mr. Chamberlain in one way, a trailblazer, a pace setter, a goal-getter, a team worker. He is that man, a philanthropist. A round of applause for him again, please. A man has three names in life. The first name is that which is from your family, the family background name. The second is the name which your parents name you. And then the third name is the name a man makes for himself. And today, Mr. Chamberlain Onuoha has actually made a name for himself. A round of applause for him. Coming up next on our item today is a great man.
Before you,
Make I pause.
pause. All right, just in case if you're on Twitter, you know there's Twitter, there's Twitter. So just in case you're on Twitter or Twitter, that's a small susu bird. That symbol on your phone. My dad said, "What did they? What's it? Just do WhatsApp this, okay?" You can check us out. Currently, if you are uh, in Nigeria now, I think we are fourth on the Twitter most, patronized and being tweeted uh, live program going on. So it's going to be on Chambers underscore legend. Okay, that's what we have on the Twitter right now. It's trending and it's currently in Nigeria. I'm not talking about Abuja. It's on number 4. Last time we checked it now. And in case the hashtag is Chambers Book Launch. All right, hashtag Chambers Book Launch. You can go on there, do what you have to do. All right, let's go ahead. You know, you're about to bring up somebody.
Yes,
Because I just felt it now that I need to move backward.
Yes, has plenty weight, Yes. All right, ladies and let me use this voice. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up on stage is a great man, a wonderful man, the man of the people, who is not just a senator. Abdul, come forward. What do you have to say about him?
You know, Kwara State, if you don't know, the reason why Kwara State is very significant in Nigeria, there's a lot of history attached to it. And this man did not just come as a senator, he's a man that has not just been a friend to Chamberlain. He's got this very interesting personality that, for those of us that have known him, both on television and through his profile, he's a very, very straightforward, very simple, straight to the point person. That is why he is not just a senator, but represents a lot of people. If you go to Kwara State, you get to find out that. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if your hands are not busy, permit me to welcome, of course, our chairman and the chief launcher is going to come up here to give us a speech. A round of outstanding applause, ladies and gentlemen, as we invite the senator. A round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. Senator Umar Sadiq. Let's clap for him from the 9th Assembly, ladies and gentlemen. It's not easy.
Thank you very much once again. My senior professional colleagues present here today, my colleagues, my junior colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, let me start on the existing protocol. Chamberlain, whom I've known for 3 decades today, has never lied to me, has never deceived me. Unfortunately, this is the first time he did that to me. Yeah. We agreed. He said, I'm going to be the chairman. I would prefer to be a reviewer because I love to write, I love to read. But I have to accept to be his chairman. But here I'm seeing now chairman / chief launchers. Chairman. Chambers. Well, I will also accept the responsibility. Our MC, the Maiduguri boy, is both a part-time lecturer and a part-time comedian, depending on the economy of the country. He didn't know that he was yapping some people, but I was the first target. I was the first person he's yapping. When he was talking about lyrics, listening to music, he doesn't know that since I've known myself, I don't know what they say in music. My children, my friends, everybody knows that. Everybody hears me every day. But the good news I tell you is true. you are wasting music by trying to listen to what they're just listening and enjoy whatever. That's my position. And just hold whatever is inside. But the good news is, MC, I'm very happy to know that my degree has such talented, agile young men. I'm proud of you. And the good news is, that's the good news. The other bad news is that in my degree, we know what Boko Haram is doing to us as a people. They are dealing with one, knowing that you are this agile and super talented. And we need to talk to Bonatai tomorrow. We need your services. Ladies and gentlemen, on a serious note, unfortunately, I was not able to have access to the books, especially, lessons from grandpa and lessons from legends. I would have loved to read it, but I didn't have the privilege, but I'm listening to our reviewer, our mentor and senior colleague, the man who we are all proud of because of his achievement. Did a very good job and was able to take some things. So before my responsibility as the chairman and the chief launcher, I would like to pass some short comments on the lessons for the grandpa. From what I gathered from the short review, is a book I really want to read, and I want young men in Nigeria to read it. This is because, from my experience, getting close to the elderly, the old people, is the best thing that any young man can enjoy. Any young man from the age of 5 across that follows seniors and elderly people, we are always going to be different because you always have something to learn. To be old and be privileged to grow to be an elder is a real privilege that only God gives everybody. It's richer than money. Most people don't know that, but you will know that when you are not able to have good health. Now, and there, the author spoke of attitude from what I gather, and we say attitude is almost everything. It's attitude that carries you anywhere you need to get to. Resilience, discipline, commitment, and vision, all has been mentioned as what is needed. The author also spoke of personal example. That is the best way you can send your communication out to people, by giving personal example who can connect with you. So I really want to read some of those personal examples. Now, one thing that struck me again is this book spoke of the company you keep. It's absolutely very important. It rubs over you deeply. However, let me warn that most people don't understand why you need to get close to successful people. It is not what you get from successful people that is important. Nobody can give you anything. It's what you can learn from them. It's what is important. And for me, I'm afraid that everybody wants to talk to you because as soon as everybody wants to come close to you, people should pay attention to what they can learn from you rather than what they can get. Because there's nothing you can get for everybody. You are the only one that can get anything you want for yourself. And luckily, the book spoke of yourself. You are the first enemy to yourself. Just look at yourself. You are the only one that can restrict yourself in anything you want. Only you can restrict yourself. And humility, I understand, is there. This is the key. Although humility, like I argued in my book that I just published, is controversial. It doesn't mean to be pretending or try to be nice. Humility is deep in the heart. It's what you think of yourself and what you think about other people, how you relate with them, how you are ready to help people, especially the weakest and those down there. That is the redefinition of what humility is, not those who are above you. I mean, you respect or you like those who are above, and so what? It's those who are below you that are more important. Lessons from the legend. Unfortunately, Chamberlain, you asked a professor to review this book, and he ended up becoming a marketing reviewer. Brilliantly done. He did say the book has so much originality, to the extent that even as a professor of pharmaceutical sciences, he has the difficulty of classifying the book, which is good. It's a classic, it's left for you to see what the book means to you. Now, what I got there again is that the book is saying everyone is a legend. This can't be further from the truth. That is what is saying. God has a purpose for everybody. Wherever you are a legend. In fact, you don't have to get to where you think is defined as success. Success should be defined by you, what the success means to you. So that you don't end up comparing apples and oranges. Everybody has his definition of what success means to him. Some people think it's money, it's bullshit. Some people think it's knowledge. Some people think it's spirituality. It's all about what you define success to be, is what it is to you. Now, coming down to Chamberlain, the man of the moment, I've known him for about 30 years. In fact, I sometimes get confused. Are we classmates or is actually a year behind me? I can't remember because we share a relationship that we meet, we talk, we think together. Anytime I'm meeting, we are always analyzing deep issues about society. In the last 30 years, we continue, even in the development sector work. When we meet, we can talk about professional practices, but we end up talking about society, the world, deeply. So I see him, I see him as a younger brother, but I see him more as a friend, a soulmate, a professional colleague, and so on. And Chambers is a real gem that exemplifies discipline, commitment, humanity, focus, resolve, and what have you. He is a professional colleague and a younger brother whom I'm so proud of and I respect so much. So much so that I tell you a story to collaborate what Professor Martin said. I have a choke-up schedule. I actually forgot this date. The phone we are communicating with Chambers got crashed. We could not communicate in the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And I can imagine how agitated it would have been. But because I'm a trained pharmacist, my brain has sensitivity for something. I've recorded this date that there's something important. And since yesterday up to this morning, something keep on telling me 10th. It's a special day that I must not forget. But I couldn't remember. Then luckily, somebody said maybe it's Chambers, it's December. So I now communicated to him. Say, yes, it's today by 4 years. So, oh my God. He didn't know that I already have 3 lineup activities today. Thank God that we are not sitting tomorrow. If not, we'll be in trouble because one of the senators, my closest friend, has a program and I'm supposed to be there. But I could not sacrifice coming here for anything today. That is why I have to come here. Let me tell you a small story with Chamba. Chamba gave me the first business opportunity. And what's that? As a professional, a manager in supply chain management in the development sector, I was just sitting down one day and Chamba said, look, he's organizing trainings and he wants me to be a consultant. Organizing training, he wants me to be a consultant. Which organization? I said, no, his organization is business. How did you do it? He said, no, he advertised online and he asked people to apply to come and be trained on various skills. I said, and people applied, he said, yes. Nigerians, young men everywhere, so that did they pay you? I said, yes, they paid them. They paid me. I said, okay. So as a consultant, what do you want me to? I should develop a curriculum, come and train them on a specialized area, and it's going to pay me for my service. I said, really? And that's what happened. I was there and I saw several young men and women coming to acquire skills and training. I did, and Chamba paid me my money. I pocketed it twice. That's the kind of sharp entrepreneurial young man that we have in this country. Detribalized, focused, honest. I can go on and on. But today, let me say that I'm slightly disappointed because I expected more presence from friends, colleagues, and a lot of that. But I know this is actually what our country is as a. If it was a party, this place would have been filled to the brim. If it was a religious gathering, it would fail to be. For anything, academics, intellectualism, humanity, we are not moving in that direction. And it's so sad. That's a reflection that our society is going down and down. We don't pay attention to that. But Chambers, I tell you, be proud of yourself. It's not about quantity, but quality. The people that are here today are those who value what intellect, humanity is all about. So I'm very happy that we are going to be here. So that's not a problem. We are happy with the people we have here, and we'll get the best we are going to get out of it. And I'm sure a lot of other people are online joining us and supporting us. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's just a brief remark I have. We'll now go to the real business, which is launching. I expect some people to come and support me.
Oh, yes, most distinguished Senator, for being, a very, very, of course, distinct senator. We're going to invite just 10 people, before to support him in launching this. So it's an open floor. A round of applause for him. Just 10 people. We don't need possibly more than that, maybe. Just 10 people that will support him in launching it. So I'm looking out for, okay, all right. Can we, okay, thank you. Please, a round of applause for them as they come. This is just to support the chairman, of course. And I've seen some people coming here. They are wearing a blazer like me. No mind is from Babi. All right, we're going to be having more coming. I see my. I think we're almost. Yeah, we still just need like. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So far, this is what we've gotten. So, sir.
Theophilus, Dr. Theophilus, please come over. You are here, you belong here.
Aha. All right, applause, ladies and gentlemen. It's not easy for them to come and support this launch.
Christmas seems to be saving some people. I can't see when the model will grab. Any help, Prof? So we can go ahead.
Where is Wing Commander?
Good. Thank you, sir. Excellent. Thank you very much. Hey. Come as his family. Yaramola. Oh. As men of honor, we will join hands anytime, anywhere. Okay. I think we can proceed, sir. Do I have the privilege of conducting it as a place?
Yes, exactly.
Excellent. This is what we are going to do. We'll start. It's going to be compulsory for everybody to launch. And we want to hear the best we can do to support both chambers and the cause. And I think he has explained clearly why he's doing this, himself and the cause. So let's do that and let's commit to that. If it means pledges, whatever, let's get the best we can so that we can support this cause. So I'm going to save the best for last.
So our supporters can have like 40 seconds, 10, 15 seconds, so that we don't keep the chairman standing. Thank you very much.
See, look, man, you didn't stay here tonight.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. We are hustler. We are contractors. When government pay us, we get money. If government refuses to pay us, we have the money. But Pharmacist Chambers is somebody we appreciate and we like so much. Although I've done my little contribution before this event, But I'm going to do a little token. I'm going to support this with 50,000.
Thank you very much, Pharmacist Lokman. Proud.
Thank you,
Proud.
sir. Thank you, sir. We don't do money. What we do is what we have helped Chambers to do, which is to do the book. If you want to take it to any school, we'll take it to any school. But let me just tell you that those who are Chambers classmates, it's compulsory for every one of them to launch. For example, pharmacist Abu Adams, I told him he must come here, and so he has launched the book for 30,000 naira, and I am launching the book for 150,000.
Thank you very much, sir. No, you still want to.
Good evening, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be here to witness this occasion. Chamberlain has been my friend for, if I think say 30 years, I'll take the bearing from there that it's actually been together for 30 years. And I'm happy that I'm here. The little I have to support the launching, I'm not disclosing it, but I have something I'll drop it if I do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Taking the wind of my. So it's interesting that way. Yeah.
Bravo.
Honorable
Are you ready?
I can shake her. Yeah, non-Chambers, let me say 2010, 2011, I saw him at a distance. Then 2019, precisely from April 2019 to date, it's been very, very close. And it's like a brother to me. So it's the same word that Senator Sadiq used here. I look at him as a younger brother, I look at him as a boss also, my boss in the office. And this evening I still call him boss. In Jam level, I say boss. Once a boss, always a boss. So I'm supporting Chambers, and I won't disclose the amount. Thank you very much for that. But I'm going to support this process, and even beyond that, not just like what Prof mentioned, any weird people want to talk about this. So many things. So let's see from Grandpa. Oh my God, once I was mentioning this, I said, these are the things I need for my own children. And then for my friends' children, this is what they need. And we're going to go beyond this one this evening. We're going to every way possible continue to push this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Watching, it's very time for speech making. But just a little about me, because those days in David Zaria, he used to be a member of ANAPS. We used to call it Association of Non-Academic Pharmacy Students. I don't know how can you act as a pharmacy student, I also be more academic. So that is our own version of the NFE. But just as Prof. Martin has said, there are rules. You can't have more than 3 carryovers in that group. So that means that you're actually enjoying life, but you are serious with your academics. And there's so many things like that. I'm happy. This is one of the first books Chamberlain is writing. I know so many times I've written before to try to impart knowledge, and this is great. Please keep it up. We are academics now, and then you know the only battle between university lecturers and governments, RPs, speakers, and things like that. But I will not leave here without making my own modest contribution. And I'm going to give a sum of 10,000 naira in cash. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Since Sadiq has ambushed me to this place, I came here as a supporter of Chambers because I'm also an author, and I'm glad that he has joined those who have been able to present their work publicly like this. Because even the first one or the other one he has written, it wasn't presented in a public forum like this. What else can I say? Chambers, I think I will be able to support this document, just only a token of 50,000 naira. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know whether I should stand or sit on the existing protocol. Because of my weight, I don't want to. Okay, thank you, the Senator. I can lie on the existing protocol. I've known Chamberlain for a long time. We went to ABU together. And irrespective of his age, I call him my mentor because he has actually he started doing a lot of things to me way back. But let me quickly say it here. When we went for our National Youth Service in Ondo State, I met him. He started before me. And he took me as a brother and he paved way for me. He showed me so many things I didn't know. Whereas some of my colleagues that were very close didn't even show me something, but he showed me so many things. And he paved way for me. When he was leaving the Earth Ranger scheme, I hope you remember now, he handed me over to the commissioner to continue the Earth Ranger scheme. And from there, it has been good stories from there. And so, despite my very busy schedule, I had to leave the office, rush home, change, must attend this program today. I'm a public servant. No, we don't make a public announcement when it comes to donation. So I will support this project and make my donations before I leave here. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Standing on existing protocol, let me thank Chambers for what he is doing. I sat there when he was talking and I was very impressed. Just to say that I worked with him the first time I came to Abuja as a pharmacist. And it was really a great experience. Such a disciplined person and very focused. Let me tell you that you're doing a good job, and I just pray that God will continue to strengthen you in all you do. As my own launch, just to add to the little I've done before now, by making it up with an additional 50,000.
Good evening, everyone. I consider it a privilege to be here to support this mission. Chamberlain is someone I know. He is my senior in school. I can say for over 28 years now, I've come to know this energetic and dynamic man. We see him as a mentor, as a role model. I think as a student, he was an editor of a magazine. And when I was doing his youth service in Ondo State, I happened to be doing my own internship in the same hospital. You know, always there giving the advice. And I can say right there as a youth corps, it started showing the sign of what we are witnessing today, because I remember I released that book, HIV, Harsh Realities, and which happened to be some of the first few available in country. I think that is quite commendable. And also know that as a civil servant, some of the first exposure that I had in public health, through his volunteering scheme, through the trainings and capacity buildings, is a man that is always there to see to the progress of others, creating ways, you can make progress as an individual. And I have that privilege of working under him as my project director, and during which I learned so much. And I only pray that God will continue to bless you. Look myself, supported, just before now. There's still, because there's nothing given that is too much for this cause. I still be having a little token of 50,000 naira.
Okay, so thank you very much for the support. So far, so good. The good news is that books is what can make you to be remembered for most in your lifetime. It's not a matter of money, but whatever you have, you forget. But when you write books, you are putting your presence in the world almost permanently. So there's no amount of money we can contribute here that can do anything to tell that. But what is most important is how do we make sure these books are available for more people to benefit and learn from it. So for me, I'm going to buy 50 copies of the book. join them to them. Programs is running, he asked people to stay their school fee, all the activity, what is he going to put some of this money into that? I will find a way, I have my foundation that I'm trying a way of working with him to support his efforts in the health. Thank you very much. That's not the end of this launching. We will make it voluntary, isn't it? Yes. Okay. So that anybody who wants to say something and donate, but we try we have to be effective with time because it's now 6:30. Okay, when are we available? Yeah. Are we ready for that? Yes. We do the voluntary list. Yes. Please.
ده خدنا قلنا تعال تعال. I have to speak in Arabia, so it's speak in Arabia, right? Jesus. Yeah, تعال, please come. So stand next to the chair. Next to the you don't.
To the glory of the Almighty, I unveil this book and we pray that this book will serve humanity, not only in Nigeria, Africa, but the whole world. Let it be useful to generations yet unborn to make humanity a better place to live. Amen.
Anyone. Yeah. So you can hold it for the picture. For the CNN media world. The CNN is here.
You're the change I'm waiting for. Let it start from you. Want a better world? Start from where you are. If everyone were like you, will the world be a better place? If everyone were like you, will the world be a better place? Can make a huge difference. Do you know that Martin Luther Mandela and Mandela us? They make difference. Do you know that? We affect generations like that. We can do more.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I just want to appreciate all our dignitaries and our guests that actually came out to support and to allow and push ahead for the launching of the book alongside the chairman. Thank you very much. We want to appreciate you all. And the number, we actually mentioned 10, is just a number. But at this point, okay. Oh yeah, beautiful. Come over, please. Thank you very much. We have somebody coming over to launch, to donate, and support.
The needful. The needful. Thank you. I'd like to stand on the, or to lie down on the executive. I love that today. I will take the time. My name is Obina. I represent Penn City Estate. That's where Chambers lives. And I'm so happy I'm here today to see the other side of him, to hear the other part of him. And I think I'm walking back taller than I came. And we are so proud of this young man, or this old man to some of us. Some call him young man, this young boy. Some call him this old man. You know, he has always lived ahead of time with a lot of things he does, including staying in our estate. He's one of the escorts in the estate, and he's done so much that I keep looking at him and saying, what exactly do you do for a living? Today, I mean, hear about fancy. That's not all about him. This man, if he handles barbecue, you think that is where his life ends. If you take him to go and monitor the project, how they are doing the road, you think his grandfather was a contractor in the real life. Take him to go and arrange this table, you think he's an event manager. He does everything perfectly. And that is what we know about him. And let me just take 1 second to say, please, if you are a Penn site, please come here. Penn City Estate people, this man is our very own, and we are so proud of him. And today, in fact, we're going to block the gates of Penn City Estate this night. No coming in, no going out. There will be a party. So if you are out, you're out. If you are in, you're in. And we're going to give him our support. And I've called some of the experts here and wonderful people to do what we know how to do. And I don't know whether I should just behave like a student of this evening. Let me do the last. That's what I mean. So we start from here.
Uncle Chambers, I wanted to come with the boys. Fortunately, some of them, you know how it is. Thank you so much for this. It's something that we have looked forward to. The build-up, I was part of it. I know how hard he worked at it. I think I will just do a token of 10,000.
Mr. Chambers, thank you for the invite. I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of you anywhere. Honestly, I'm glad we met. Okay, for the lunch, I'll do something for you. Thank you.
Legend. Thank you for the invitation. We are proud of you from the city estate and giving a sum of 15,000 naira.
My boss. Hey, that's my boss. I looked at him again and said, yeah? He's my boss, yet when we're doing things in the estate, no, don't worry, I'll help you carry it. And I'm like, I don't like this, don't worry, we will do it. Today I just saw a different side of you. So it's a big book like this. I don't know. Seriously, I feel like emptying my account. Because you know what? I'm feeling on top of the world. Like seriously. Like my boss can achieve. Let me, this guy is just the beginning now. Sure, you know I'm following you behind. For this lunch, I think I will just donate a sum of 20,000 naira.
Thank you so much. Not wasting your time so much. When I came in, I listened to the book reviewer, and I listened to the content, what one is going to see in the book, and I've listened to him about the reasons, and I think I want to dwell on those reasons. So whatever we're going to do, or whatever we're doing, we want to take it further to impact the lives of the people out there. We want to live for others. So for myself, I think we'll take 5 books, and I'm the chairman of the estate, and it's not because I'm the chairman, because I love what he's doing. And I think I can afford the 100,000 naira. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Albina. Please a round of applause for them. Thank you so much for the love show. Just like I said earlier when we started this program, we're going to stick to time. And I personally felt we need to do this most importantly as the author requested. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman, most distinguished. Please a round of applause for the chairman, the senator, for being here. It's not easy for a senator to be here for more than 2-3 hours. Really just to show you the love that he has for this young man that is doing this. Meanwhile, if you're online watching this, the account number is below. And this is not the normal conventional way of doing launching. Papers and leaflets are on your tables. Everybody that came here is going to leave with the package, the set of the 3 books and an album. So all you need to do is just fill the forms, and in case you need more to support or send it to a library in Maiduguri or Kaduna or Kwara State or here in Abuja, you all need to just kindly just fill the leaflets and you have a copy, and of course the author has a copy. And that's going to make it more snappy, sharply, and neatly done. Emails and all the information that you need to be there. So the launching continues, and for those of you watching us live online, you have account numbers here for all friends, family, colleagues, former colleagues back in Australia, America, Italia, how is it, China? You can't be anywhere. This is here again. All right, it's been a very beautiful evening. I'm going to be bringing back, of course, Mr. Chamberlain Onuoha back on stage. It's on the program so that we, of course, get the closing prayers in the next few minutes once he comes over. So please, let's invite Chambers on stage. Just like, of course, the launching continues. It's all about donating, of course, in towards the scholarship, and of course, all the positive strides that, of course, this young man has been doing and still doing. So let's continue to do that while we invite him back on stage, so that at least we can have a good timing for his presentation, so that we can have a good closing at the right time. Please, a round of applause for Mr. Chamberlain as he comes back on stage. All right. Oh, he has to go backstage to come up. You know now. Wow, when I met him, I thought he was a single man. Let's say, I shared that about that. He has a wife, but two children. Huh? All right, there you go.
Good evening, sir.
We're doing a small little song that we titled My Life is Beautiful. And if you look at the lyrics leaflet that is in front of you, that's track number 7, just in case you want to follow the lyric leaflet. And right there on to the extreme left is actually the producer of this particular song. So, and we're just doing it.
Breathing me. If you're still alive, you too should agree with me. My life is sweet because I got hopes and dreams. If you feel the same way, let me hear you scream. No man black or white can give life to another. No man rich or poor can reverse time all over. But time is of essence, you gotta use the world, brother. Don't waste your precious time for me, I suppose you know that. The great saturated with only dreams. All for your potentials, like ice in no cream. I can imagine the dead wishing they were alive. For the chance to live through the dream. Oh yeah, as perfect as I am, my life is a testimony. Sure, where I am is a long target for many. My life is beautiful, and it's not about money. But I'm alive, so I sing loud every morning. You can join us and sing it. My life is beautiful. My life is beautiful. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The life I live is beautiful. The life I live is wonderful. Check my feet again. My fingerprints are Jesus from love. I used to walk on a master craftsman. And awesome. It doesn't have to be like yours. You should be happy. What you have is better than what you can life. And nothing else is better than this. Right now is another man's testimony. No one is happy the day that you have. But say that beautiful. My life is beautiful. It's beautiful. My life is beautiful. My life is beautiful. It's Don't be sick, don't be naive, and don't be fooled. The beautiful life for sure is more important. There will always be challenges. We all have issues. I have mine, you have yours, and life is a school. A beautiful life chooses to see you and grabs every opportunity in every mood. Don't envy anyone because you don't know their story, and all you see is in all their efforts. Life is about what you have, not what you lack. It's about being thankful, being nothing for granted. It's about believing you're awesome. Oh yes, you are, because he who made you, yes, you try. As perfect as you are, your life is a testimony. Because when you are, it's a long destination for me. Your life is beautiful, not because you have money. So one day it's not if you desert, you have fun. My life is beautiful. It's beautiful. My life is beautiful. My life is My life is beautiful because my pain is in the stronger. My life is beautiful because my joy is ever fuller. My life is beautiful because the shade joy is remaining. My life is beautiful because my kids see the best. My life is beautiful because I'm singing with my daughters. My life is beautiful because my life is ever mindful. My life is beautiful because it's ever merciful. Check out the outro, beautiful collabo, Chamberlain, and his two beautiful daughters, Angel and Princess, the La Living family, 60-bit productions, and that is how we roll it. And I'm out, yo.
They are late in school. Silence.
Come in, give me that. Give me that. Come in. Good. Let's take a great.
All right. So yeah, not further. That is the reason why a lot of people looking forward to before you know it, these people that are learning it, they are still clapping back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the program, the luncheon continues, of course. We'll be taking the vote of thanks. And of course, no one else. Mr. Chamberlain had to go backstage to come up. He has to go back to the seat. And I think he's going to invite him so that he will feel the switch.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the vote of thanks, we would like to have the reason why we are gathered here today.
1 second before both of them. This man has not lost.
Oh, okay. We have been waiting for him. I thought he missed the flight.
Where's Chambers?
Chambers. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't recognize me, my name is Chamberlain. Like 20 years. Yeah, a very good guy, pharmacy school. Oh, look, man, this is a reunion. Nice. I think this is just awesome. It's spectacular. And if you look at how pharmacists have been wired, we are actually very diverse in how we do things. Without what you do, because I came late, I didn't waste time. It's a small token. Yes, it's a small token. But I'd like to launch this. Is it book or books?
I won't clap.
Huh? You won't clap? Okay. With a sum of 20,000 naira. Now, my daughter would also want to launch this book with a sum of 10,000 naira. Done a great job. We really appreciate you. We're proud of you.
You have 4 children.
No, I don't have 4 children.
Okay, that is why you have to be chairman for my book launch.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I know Chambers about 15 years ago. Chambers is my good friend. He has been a good friend, and we feel that we too, we have to be part of this occasion. Chambers, I'm a living testimony for Chambers. All what you have said is correct, but I'm a personal living testimony. Chambers, for the past 10 years, he has been supporting the orphans I have, school fees, for almost 10 years till now. And some of them, the both parents died and leave them. And some of them, the both parents died of AIDS, and I have them in my house. I was supposed to come with one here to be able to testify, but unfortunately, I had a delay in the office, so I couldn't go back on to pick her to come here and testify that Chambers has done so much to her. By next year, she'll be entering, she'll be writing WAEC. And both parents died right when she was just 6 years. And I have been managing her, and she's also a sickle cell. You know what it means. So I have been managing her. I wanted her to come here. She said, "Mommy, I have to be here." But I couldn't bring her because of delay in the office. But on behalf of my family, but my husband is here, on behalf of my family, we are launching with the sum of 10,000 naira. We want you to, and God will continue to see you as you walk towards what you want to achieve in life, in Jesus' name.
You hold the money. Women and vote of thanks.
All right, thank you very much. I do agree that
There are many things that we can have different quantities of. But one of the levelers that God in heaven has provided for everybody equal amount is time. And that means that time is one of the scarcest resource any human can have. Even the senator here cannot make one additional minute. Bill Gates cannot make one additional hour. Nobody can create any. Even our professor can't create more in the lab. So it's very expensive and very precious. And you have given me the most precious thing, what you cannot expand in any way, what you cannot get more of, is what you have given me. And considering how busy every single one of you is, I really do appreciate it. And I really want to appreciate every single one of you and all those who are online, that you're watching through the screens and you're engaging with us. We really do appreciate all that you've given us. Your time, your support, your moral encouragement, they mean a lot. And they used to say that for evening service, there's no need for long sermon. So all I can say is thank you very much. I really do appreciate your comment.
When you have somebody that has A in summary in secondary school, this is what he does.
Exactly.
If you make mistake, go by state. If you know we are here 30 minutes. This one has A. All right, I'd like to invite for the guest feedback, just in case if there's any feedback, because of time. If there's any feedback, we'll take that. Either on the comments and what have you, we have an able red carpet. So they'll ask you questions, they will take reviews, and that will be recorded and we'll place it on the YouTube just to save time. So in the absence of that, I would like to invite any of our Muslim brothers here. We started with the Christian faith. So I would like to invite, okay, all right. The stage is yours.
Your balance is involved.
Thank God is online so that
I just wanted to confirm. If there is anybody who hasn't received the package of the books and the CD. Is anybody here who hasn't received? I'm not asking if there's anybody who hasn't donated, because that's at this point that's immaterial. Every single person who is here, who's working here and giving us the most precious resource they have, which is their time, is going to walk out of here with the package. Is anybody who hasn't received? Please just put your hands up so you can just get it. Oh, okay, the ushers, please just note where they are and make sure that they get it before they leave. Thank you.
In case you can change seat.
And don't forget to fill the slip in front of you, please. Yes, please just fill. Even if you're online, I think there's an online form. You can also fill the slip online.
Yes. We would like to take the closing prayer. Can we have Bismillah?
Thank you very much. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah for His mercies. We thank Allah for the time. We thank Allah for the author. We thank Allah for everybody. As we go back to our home, we pray Allah to give us a safe journey to get home peacefully. And also, we have to pray for our country. We hope to get peace. We hope to grant us peace in our work, in our affairs, in everything we do. So, Allah will give us a safe journey. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Amen.
So you can move to the red carpet and have some pictures, which is very good for documentation. Thank you very much.
Look, man, I'm going to hold you.
Oh yes, we want to appreciate the ocean services rendered to us by our cute ladies here. Dati Atapa, CEO, thank you very much for rendering your beautiful MU catering and ushering services. We can all now move, for those of you that are still online, just in case, I believe we've gone off, but